folks. Welcome to this weekly webinar. It is Wednesday, February 22nd, and yeah, we'll just give people a couple minutes to join. A lot of schools out, I know, today because of snow in the Minnesota area. I don't know about Iowa as much, but Minnesota, South Dakota, I think Nebraska as well. So it might be a smaller crew today, but let's just give people a couple minutes to sign in, and then we'll get started. All right, Denise, you think we should get started?
I think we should do it.
All right, here we go. Welcome to this JMC weekly webinar. It's February 22nd, 2023, and we are expecting a blizzard here in southeastern Minnesota. We're supposed to get 1 to 2 feet of snow, so it looks chilly outside, feels a little chilly inside, but we're here to start out with this easier end of term grades webinar. My name is Paul Freed. I'm a trainer here at JMC, with JMC for 17 years. I love visiting schools, and I live on a small farm here in southeastern Minnesota. And I'm joined by the wonderful, one of our newest trainers, Denise Drew. So Denise, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Denise Drew, and I worked for 25 years at a school in southeast Minnesota. And I am super excited about this new feature that we have because it's going to make office professionals so happy not having to go in and go through the report cards to find out who has not sent in the grades. So let's show them how to do it.
Absolutely, let's do it. Sounds great, Denise. So, accepting grades in JMC Office. In JMC Office pros will no longer have to hear, did you get my grades? Or track down the individual teachers to see how end of term reporting is coming along. Today, we'll show you how to open the time frame for teachers to submit grades while JMC automatically imports course grades and standards and benchmarks to report cards. Plus, as extra credit, we'll show you how to easily view and print a list of teachers who have and have not submitted grades. Now, here's the thing. We're in February 2023. Partway between quarter two, or actually we're in quarter 3 or in trimester 2, depending on where you're at. And what we've decided for the rest of the 23-24 school year is if your school wants to use this new feature, we will allow you to do that. Just contact tech support and say, hey, I've watched the video on the new grade submission process. Please turn it on for our district, and we can turn it on for your district. So we've been piloting it with, I think, about 40 schools for the start of the school year. We thought about rolling it out mid-year, but we didn't want to shake the boat or rock the boat too much for schools if they didn't, know it was coming. So instead of us rolling out to everybody, we thought, we'll just let schools decide. So if you do nothing, it's going to keep on the same process process as you've been doing all year for the 22-23 school year. If you want to switch this process, just email support@jmcinc.com. Make sure, of course, you've watched this video so you know how to do it, and then they'll turn on for you that new grade acceptance process. So let us know, we'll turn on for you. If not, it will be turned on for all clients over the summer for everybody for the 23-24 school year. All right, please hold all of your questions until a Q&A session at the end of each section. If you do need to communicate with the host, feel free to use the Q&A chat feature in your webinar toolbar. All right, opening grade acceptance. When it's time to report grades, office professionals work in tandem with teachers to get grades into the hands of their families in a timely fashion. Office professionals begin the process by opening the grade acceptance period in JMC Office to invite teachers to submit their grades. Then as teachers submit grades, JMC automatically puts them into report cards, eliminating the chore of manually compiling grades. To set the grade acceptance settings or to review which teachers have submitted grades, head to Grading Entry Grade Acceptance. So you'll notice already we've changed the name. It used to be Grading Entry TG Gradebook Entry. Now it's called Grade Acceptance. Step 1, click the Settings tab, and you'll actually be on it already, to customize the acceptance time frame and term type for accepting grades into JMC Office. Step 2, select the Grade Acceptance On or Grade Acceptance Off or Grade Acceptance On Between radio button from the Grade Acceptance box to establish the grade acceptance period. Helpful tip, select the Grade Acceptance On Between option and enter a date in the From and To fields to set a grading window that allows teachers to submit grades. And I'll talk about these a little bit more when I show the live look. Step 3, place a check mark in the appropriate checkbox or boxes to indicate the type of grades you're accepting. Midterm grades from the JMC Teacher Midterm Grades page, course grades, grades from the JMC Teacher Course Grades page, or standards and benchmarks, assessments entered by the teacher on the Edit Assessment page in JMC Teacher. Now, before I move on, I'll tell you, the intention here is that you would not come in and just check everything, right? You come in and open it up between a period, or even just turn it on. I think most people honestly just turn it on and turn it off when they want to use it. But the period, the dates are cool. You come in and say, if you do midterms for Q1, right? And then you might do course grades for Q1, and those grades come in, and then you might turn it off for a while. And then when it comes to the end of Q2 or semester 2 or semester 1, you do Q2 and you would do semester 1 or whatever it might be, but you would be thoughtful about this, right? It's a really great feature. It's going to save you a ton of time, but you want to be thoughtful about the buttons that the boxes, excuse me, that you're checking here. Step 4, place a check mark in the terms to accept grades from checkbox or boxes to accept grades associated with the appropriate term. Again, like I said before, be thoughtful about this. You don't want to just go in and check everything. Step 5, click the Save button to save your grade acceptance settings. Fun fact, when you turn on grade acceptance, teachers will receive an alert in JMC Teacher reminding them to submit their grades. Let's take a live look at opening the grade acceptance. So I'm actually going to start in the JMC Teacher portion just to show you. I'm in the JMC Teacher part right now. It's telling me, hey, we can now import grades for Q1 and try one for all courses to the office. It's letting them know that if that was not on, there'd be nothing that would be able to allow them to do that. If they go to their Edit Course Grades, which is one of the screens they can use to send to the office, it will tell them, send grades Q1 and try one. So we actually tell them right here what they can do. So if it's turned off, and I'll show you that in just a moment, then that doesn't even show up for them. So it's a great way to communicate with your teachers. So once teachers are ready to send grades in, you're ready to open that up. We're going to go under Grading, Entry, Grade Acceptance. Let's say that this is off here. Okay, I'm just going to come in here and we're going to do that. I'm just going to click. I wonder if I can save it with everything. There I can. Okay, so it's off. The first time you come in, the grade acceptance will be off. And I'm actually just going to refresh here and see if it's going to show me. Great. There's nothing. It's telling me, hey, nothing's open here. I'm in the JMC Teacher part here. If I go to Edit Course Grades, again, there'll be nothing listed here. I can't send grades into the office. I'll come in and say, all right, it's the end of Q1. I'm going to have my teachers send in maybe their course grades. Maybe you're a K-12 database. We'll do course grades and standards and benchmarks. I'm going to do course grades, standards and benchmarks for Q1. I'm going to turn grade acceptance on and save. That's all there is to it, right? That's all there is to it. Then what happens is when teachers go to their JMC Teacher, it'll tell them, hey, right now, Q1 grades for all courses can be sent to the office. They can go to their Edit Course Grades screen. It's going to tell them that they can send their grades to the office. They can also go edit down to Edit Assessment Report Card for a student screen. They've got their report cards. They can send those grades in the office, whatever you're using in your particular school. And when they send those grades to the office, those grades will automatically be pulled in. That's the new feature here. You just come here, you set it, and you forget it. And when teachers send grades in, they automatically come in. There's no button to push. Every time a teacher goes here and they send their grades to the office here, or if they go to edit course grades here, or midterm grades, and they send their grades to the office, if I go send the grades to the office, when those grades get sent in, they're automatically pulled in. There's nothing that the office needs to do. That's why Denise said it's going to save a lot of headaches, right? Teachers say, did you get my grades? That's not the question. The question is, did you send your grades in? And they'll be pulled in every single time that's listed there. So you open that up. Like we said before, you can come in under grading entry to grade acceptance. You can either turn it on, or you can turn on between a date too, right? I want to turn this on from February 1st. Actually, what am I on today? Today is the 15th, or no, the 22nd. So I might turn it on for the week, from the 20th to the 24th. And you would tell your teachers, hey, just so you know, the grade acceptance is on. You can do this. Once they get to February 25th, that window will be closed. You sure can come in and turn it on again if you want to, and it would bring the grades in. If teachers have sent grades in during that term, it'll automatically bring those grades in. For you don't need to, again, push any buttons there. You can decide whichever way you want to be able to do that. So it's either really set it and forget it, or come in and toggle it on and off. On when you're ready to open it up, off when all the teachers have sent their grades in. So really, I'm always talking about more than needs to be talked about. You simply come here. I'm going to show you one more time. If it's the end of the term, you go under grading, entry, grade acceptance, and you can turn on between, or just turn it on and click save. Send an email to your teachers. Hey, you can start sending your grades in. Once they send them in, those grades will automatically come in. So really, really easy feature there. Let's see if there's any questions here. Actually, we did roll this out to, like I said, about 40 pilot schools to start the school year. And we did a webinar then too, and not too many questions. It's pretty straightforward there again. The questions kind of are, well, don't we have to do something to bring the grades in or push a button? Nope. Once you open that window up, teachers will send them in. This will save that headache, because sometimes teachers will say, well, I sent my grades in, or all that back and forth, all that rigmarole goes away, because once teachers are ready to submit their grades to the office, they can submit those grades to the office, and then they're good to go. So, all right, let's wait for a second, see if anybody has any questions here. Denise, were you in charge of printing report cards at your school?
I sure was. That was the fun part of it. The worst part was trying to figure out who hasn't submitted grades yet. Who do I have to talk to make sure the grades are submitted? So.
Yep. And we'll talk about that next as well. And how many times a quarter? I know you're guessing because it's been a little while, but would you bring grades from the JMC teacher? Would you bring them in twice, 10 times, 15? I don't have any idea.
Twice a quarter, midterm, and then the end of the term.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Great. That's awesome.
Oh, you mean before? Oh, all the time.
Yep.
I'd be importing them every day, like 3 or 4 times a day. So yes,
Yep.
That was a constant.
Great. And if you're just joining us, I see we've had some new people join us here. I will let you know that this feature that we're showing, this grade acceptance feature, it's something that we are not going to turn on for all clients this year. We've piloted about 40 schools. Instead of doing that, because we didn't want to rock the boat for clients if they didn't want this new feature, you can request it. So if you want us to turn on this new feature, email support@jmcinds.com and say, hey, our school district would like to turn this on this year. Make sure you've watched this video. Anybody that's bringing grades in, because it'd be for the whole district, you can say, hey, this is the process we're going to do now. You sure can do that. And then if you wait, this will be turned on for all schools the summer of 2023 here for the start of the next school year. So that's exciting. We're giving schools the option this year. It works great. The 40 schools that are doing it, it's working well for them. You can decide if you want to do it this year or next year. And again, there's not really anything different on the teacher side. It's just that they won't have the ability to send grades in until you open up that window. All right, then we've got the view teacher grade submission. Once teachers have finished submitting course grades to the office, you can start sending report cards home. But how will you know when all teachers have submitted their grades? The grade submission log in JMC allows you to easily view the teachers who still need to submit grades, so you know exactly what you are ready to, or when you are ready to officially close out the grading period. In JMC Office, head to Grading, Entry, Grade Acceptance to run a grade submission report. Step 1, click the Grade Submission Log tab to view teachers who have submitted grades to the office. Step 2, place a check mark in the following checkboxes to view the grade submissions. Again, this is kind of the 3 grade types, right? There's the midterm grades, There's course grades, and then standards and benchmarks. Those are the assessments entered by the teacher on the edit assessment page in JMC Teacher. Typically a report card, kindergarten, first, second. Some people do it K-5. There are some schools that do it kindergarten through, or even pre-kindergarten through 8th. But typically middle schools are course grades, and elementary schools are standards and benchmarks. And they might have course grades as well. It'd be the same as you're doing it now. Step 3, select the appropriate term from the grade acceptance imported dropdown list to view the grade submitted for a specific term. Step 4, click the search button to view a list of teachers who have not yet imported their grades there. Step 5, click the print button to print the list of teachers for future reference, or the delete log table to clear the log. Delete just means, hey, I'm clearing it out. I want to see a fresh report that's listed in there as well. Fun fact, the grade submission log report includes the course name, class period, accepted grades, and import date as well. So this is one of the parts that I don't really have great data in here, right? This is just a demo school for me. I did talk to tech support and say, hey, is this report working? They're like, yes, schools really like this report. So that you can, once this is turned on for your school, you can go under grading, entry, grade acceptance. Again, this is where you turn on. Here's the grade submission log here. If I want to check out course grades here, I'm going to do it for Q1 here. And I can search that, and it's going to show me, here we go, teachers who imported the grades for these courses here. Mr. Freed did, for these grades, we have grades accepted. Teachers who've not imported grades here. Mr. Cars for American History. Mr. Freed for Algebra. Mr. Smith for First Music and Business English, it looks like. Here's Fabric Arts. So it tells you all the teachers that have not sent those grades in there as well. You could also do it for standards and benchmarks. I'm probably going to have maybe a few more here. Here we go. So I don't have anybody that's done my standards and benchmarks here, but here's the teacher here, and here's the different courses that we have listed there as well for grade level or the course. This is course 1, course 2 that's listed there as well. So really helpful way to be able to do that grade submission log there, whether you're using standards and benchmarks, course grades, or midterm grades. The last thing I'll show you, and this is not part of the presentation, but the old school way I would have teachers check to see the old school I would have office professionals check to see if teachers had submitted grades is under grading, reports, down to grade distribution. I still actually really like this report. You can come and choose any term, choose any grade levels. If you want to, you could choose the gender, I guess, here as well. The original reason for this grade distribution was to show how much for each course, and actually each teacher, how many A's through F's were given, right? So that's a cool report. It's just a way to check it. Like, are we giving too many A's, too many F's, or whatever it might be for each course or for each teacher. But we added this none column many years ago because it means that no grade was submitted for this number of students. So you might see 1s, 2s, and 3s here because not every kid gets a grade in every course. But if I see a 17 here, right? 17, I think this is for senior choir, right? It means for senior choir, whoever teaches that, there's 17 kids that don't have a grade there, right? So it'd be another way of seeing for each course who have not sent grades in. But I promote this because I think it's a cool report to run. And it's a great report to share with your administrative team because your administrative team should have an idea of how you're doing on the A through F grading scale and giving those grades there as well. So, all right. But again, the purpose of this particular presentation was to go to grading, entry, down to grade acceptance, and click on that grade submission log and bring that in there. And if you want to, you can search again for Q1, search that there. Nope, I want to see now for Q1 and try one. You can delete that log table there. Great. And then I can come in there and I can check that out there. Again, you're not going to do that very often, just so you know. It's just a way to be able to get in there if you need to kind of start over and see the information that is listed there. So those are the 2 different items that we have. All righty. So I'll go and see if there's any questions here that people want to ask. And again, reviewing, just in case you joined a little bit late, this is a feature that we're going to have turned on for every school in 23-24. So this summer we'll turn it on for everybody. For the rest of this year, for 2022-2023, if your school wants to use it, you sure can email support@jmcinc.com. Let them know that you'd like to turn it on for your district. Make sure everybody who brings the grades into your district watches this video and is aware of the process, and you can start bringing them in. So we've had about 40 districts pilot it for us this fall. It's worked great for them. You can just let us know. So, all right, Denise, any questions there? Should we roll through our news for the upcoming events?
Go ahead and go to the news.
Great. Here we go, JMC news and upcoming events. Sign up for our upcoming webinar schedule here. We've got on the 2nd week of March, which is next, We're ahead of ourselves. No, that's the first week of March there. Mastering the point of sale. I'm excited about that one because it's just a great tool to use to make sure you're using the point of sale efficiently. And then we come in here is utilizing early at-risk alerts with the admin dashboard. It's a particular feature in the admin dashboard. Then we've got Advance Your Teacher series on JMC Teacher Student List and Overview Report. That's a great thing that will be a tool really for your office team to send to your teachers to say, hey, here's how you use student lists in JMC Teachers so you can run your own birthday lists and you can run your own maybe busing reports or something like that. And then we have here understanding GPA calculations and reports. That's another really quick look at how GPAs are calculated and some of the reports underneath there, because we get questions about GPAs and transcripts, and it's going to give you some tools to make sure that everybody at your school understands how your GPAs are calculated. All right, we are hiring. Do you want a part-time gig or the inside scoop to all things JMC? Join our team and become a part-time client service specialist. Part-time, typically like 20 hours a month, right? As a client service specialist, you'll develop meaningful relationships with our users through communication, training, and support. In return, we offer a competitive salary and the opportunity to work remotely, but don't take our word for it. Here's a great quote. The part I enjoy most about being a CSS is the constant opportunity to connect with others and to learn more every day. To apply, email your resume and a letter of introduction to hr@jmcinc.com with the job application in the subject line. All right, our favorite events of the year, our JMC Summer Conferences offer a unique opportunity where JMC clients, trainers, tech support specialists, and client service specialists gather for a day of learning, sharing, planning, camaraderie, and fun. This wonderful opportunity gives us a chance to meet face-to-face to learn from each other and prepare for the upcoming school year. You can visit our Eventbrite page to secure your spot. They are right now in Minnesota and Iowa, and it's the first week of August. Every school should send a core team of at least 2 or 3 people to think about how JMC is going to function for you in the upcoming school year and see our time-saving features. And it's just a great time overall. JMC is getting ready for our 2023 in-person regional workshops. Throughout April, our workshops will take place at schools throughout the Midwest to share all about our messaging tools can unite your entire school community. If you're interested in hosting, let us know. We've started to reach out to schools already to secure some spots. And also, don't tell too many folks, but we'll be featuring the first module in our new look and feel. And it's the getting ready for 23-24 school year season. Move up season has begun. We're well into it. Today, what you want to do is if you want to move up this year, you can fill out the short online form and let us move up your data for you. It's just a great feature in JMC. You fill out the information, we move up your data for you so that your database is ready. And it's back now through March 2023. We're offering schools a discount for referring their friends. For each school you refer to JMC that signs up for software, we'll provide $750 scholarship for your district. Be social with us. Another great way to stay up to date in all things JMC is through our social media presence. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn at OnlineJMC or our blog, jmcinc.com/news. All right, that's all we got. So on behalf of myself and Denise and the entire team, thanks for your time today, and thank you for choosing JMC.